Hi, everyone. This is Elena Hamilton, one of the coordinators for Opportunity Now, coming at you live from my dining room. Welcome to this week's installation of the quarantine video series. In this video, we are going to be focused on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a social media site, a lot like Facebook or TikTok, with one major difference. It's geared towards professionalism. So it helps you build your professional network. It's where you connect with people that you maybe had a job with before or were in an internship with before. And it can be used as a job search tool. So it has that component as well. So today I'm going to show you the components of a LinkedIn profile and some of the tips and tricks that I have used in order to make my profile stand out, both to people I'm trying to network with as well as employers. So here we are on my home page for my LinkedIn. What we can see here, very similar to Facebook, is posts from any people in my network as well as community organizations that I follow. So I follow the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce, therefore I can see their posts. If I look at the top, I have that home button. I have my network where I can see who I'm connected with. I have the job feature where I can search for jobs, messaging for any messages I get from recruiters or people in my network, and then my notifications tab. What I actually want to start with today, though, is checking out the LinkedIn page of one of my colleagues, Samantha McDonough. So if you guys watched the recent video on mindfulness, you probably recognize this picture. So you can see at the very top of her LinkedIn page, Samantha has a professional headshot. So this is not the time to be uploading a picture of you throwing up a peace sign in the back of your car. This picture needs to be professional. You can have somebody, what I did is somebody took a picture of me by a brick wall. Like that works. So Samantha's name is on here. First just means that she is a connection of mine. And then the next thing is her headline. So there's two common ways to do headlines. The way that Samantha did it is she put her current position, Southwest Internship Coordinator, and then her current organization that she works with, the Oasis Center. When we get to my page, you will see that I did it a little bit differently. You can choose which one works better for you. So the next major portion of her LinkedIn page is her about statement. This is where I would suggest 2 to 3 sentences to really establish purpose, why you're in the work, and kind of project that to whoever might be reading your page. So you can see Sam talks about being a social worker. She talks about being passionate, helping young people. My main suggestion for this section is do try to keep it short. Nobody wants to read, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs in this section. The next section is experience. So this is where you're going to post any sort of job experience that you've had, whether that be internships or traditional jobs. Since you guys are high schoolers and probably have a little bit less experience, this is also where you could post any volunteer positions that you've had as well, or maybe any clubs that you're in school. So the way that this works is you'll have the job title, where you had that job, and then how long you've been in it. The main thing here is you want to put your main responsibilities and you want to use those action verbs. So we can say that Sam used manages, conducts, collaborates. Make sure you're using strong words to kind of establish what it is you were doing in that role. And you can see that she's included a lot of her past experience. You can pretty much include anything that you've done up until this point if you think that it's relevant and it projects a positive version of yourself. The next section is education. Since you guys are, for the most part, still in high school, this is where you would put your high school and then your anticipated graduation date. So you could put anticipated graduation date, May 2020 or May 2022, for example. You can include volunteer experience, or if you want to kind of compile that and include that in experience up above, you don't have to have this section. The next section is skills and endorsements. So this is where you can put things that you're really good at. So maybe you're really good with Microsoft Excel. Maybe you're really good with public speaking. And the cool thing about this feature is anybody in your network can go on here and they can endorse you in that skill. So you can see it says, thanks for endorsing Samantha. I've now endorsed her for the skill of Microsoft Office. And then the final part is interests, and this is just any people or organizations that you'd like to receive posts from. So now we're looking at my LinkedIn page. I want to bring your attention to my headline. You can see it says Workforce Development Specialist, Educator, Data Analyst. So what I chose to do was highlight 3 skills that I believe I have that will be relevant to any future career opportunities I choose. So when you're creating your headline, you can do something like this with 3 main skills, or you can do like what Sam did and put your current role at your current organization. Either way is completely fine. What I would avoid doing is putting your headline as looking for opportunities. You are able to do that. You're able to communicate that through this button where you can show recruiters that you're open to jobs. That information does not need to be in your headline. If it is anywhere, you can put a sentence about how you're open to job opportunities in your about statement. So I want to end this video with just 3 tips for any LinkedIn users. The first tip is to give people context. So do not assume that everybody who's looking at your page has context on what it is you are doing. Let me give you an example. So I currently work for Opportunity Now. I don't want to assume that people know what that program is. So before I even listed my responsibilities, I put a little blurb here as to the purpose of the organization I work for. Tip number 2 is to brag. This is a platform where you are putting forth your best self. So please list out all your accomplishments. You want to make yourself sound great. That's the whole point of this. You're trying to build your network. You're trying to get hired. So don't be shy. Make sure that you're bragging about yourself. And then the final tip is to just be an active member. So make sure that you are building your network. Make sure that you are connecting with people in your network by messaging them every so often. The reason why this is important is because those people might help you get a job down the road. They might write you a recommendation. They might be able to connect you to somebody else who can help you with your work in the future. So please make sure that if you do choose to build a LinkedIn, that you are an active member and you are using it to its full purpose. So I appreciate you guys spending this time with me today and look forward to seeing you guys next week in our next quarantine video series.